Welcome to Stitch Crazy. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to have like a show and tell of different items that I've made or my sister's made or just different things I've picked up. So first of all, this is this quilt here that's on the table. I made this a couple years ago, and this is what you call a block of the month. So like you can go to Joann Fabrics, and every month you will buy a packet that has the fabric all cut out and the pattern, and you make a block. And then there's 12 blocks, one for each month, and then you can put it together. It will kind of tell you the instructions for each block that you make, and then it'll tell you like how much material you'll need for the back or the sashings. This one here, I chose different fabrics to make my sashing on the end a little different than what the pattern did. I have another relative and a friend that also did this same block, but their quilts look totally different because they chose different colors, or maybe they added an extra color to the block that they wanted to have in their quilt. Maybe they made their sashing bigger, or they wanted a bigger quilt but had 12 blocks. So you can change the width of these sashings and the sashings down in the bottom, and then these are your border rows at the bottom here. Okay, so you can what's nice about these blocks of the month is they should have all the fabric there. They're pre-cut. Some of them, some different packets they'll give you the fabric and you need to cut them, but in this particular one, they're usually cut, and then you can just lay them out and sew the block together. A very easy way of doing it, and it's a block a month. So every month you can go to the store and then you can pick up another block for that particular month. And then so it will take you through the whole year to make this quilt. Okay, so that's one of my items for today. And on this quilt here too, I took it to a machine quilter. So I had my backing and I did my top, and then she actually did the machine quilting that you can see, or on the back here, maybe you can see it a little bit. The pattern will go through the whole back. So if you don't want the pattern to show very much, you would use like a printed fabric on the back. If you use a plain fabric on the back, then you're going to see your machine quilting better. Okay, you can also machine quilt it yourself if you have a machine. Some of this you can do with a regular sewing machine, just takes time to learn. Okay, so this one here I actually paid somebody to finish it for me. All right, so I'm going to just show a few things that I've made over the years. This one here is just blocks. Now this one here is actually made from house coats. Okay, this has a little special memory because these house coats are from my mother. Okay, and then here I just added the yellow sashing because I thought that color would it's just like a baby quilt, so it would soften it up. And so then what I did is I just made, it's called a 4-patch because to this block, it's 4 blocks, and it's like 2 and 2. On these here, they're all different. So, and then I put the 4-patch blocks together with sashing on this particular one. Okay. Now this one is not finished. I just used up scraps of fabric from another quilt. And once again, I haven't finished this top. This can just be like a little baby quilt too. And here again, here's my block. It's a 4-patch with the 2 colors are the same, and these 2 colors are the same. And so you can just make a little baby quilt out of that. Okay. I'm just going to throw this in. If you have extra fabric, and I mean not a lot of fabric, but it will make like little doll clothes. These are for like an 18-inch doll. So I had some denim left over here. And this one is from a pair of pants that I had when I was younger. And it was new fabric left over from my mom's. And so I made little 18-inch doll clothes pants out of that. And then if you have t-shirt material, you can make a little t-shirt to go with it, or you can buy a t-shirt to go with it. So those are just a little extra thing you can do with extra fabric that you have.
Get 3 months free access on all lines plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
I've embroidered. This here was a kit that I bought. And it's called Stamp Cross Stitch. And I usually buy these like at 50% off. You can buy them at Joann's, different craft stores. And then this is all cross-stitched. And it was stamped, and then you have a little guide to go by, and it's a little farm scene. Can you see that? And this, you don't need a back to it. If you want, you can add a back to it, but I tried to slip my ends when I was done underneath the previous seam or row so that it would look nice on the back. But you can put a backing on it if you want to, but once you're done cross stitching, then you have a nice little baby blanket. Okay. Okay. You can also buy like pre-printed panels, and this is a baby quilt that is made with pre-printed panels and just buying fabric that matches, and then so then you have a top and your backing, and you top stitch it. So this is just machine quilted, a real basic. It just kind of follows the blocks, and it just makes a very nice little quilt with alphabet on it. And then on these here, you put a little binding around the edge to finish it. So you can buy a lot of different patterns with pre-printed. Anything, I mean, there's just almost any design that you want. You can buy like this one here would be a really quick project to make for someone that's just starting out, just to kind of get the idea. This has a real light batting in it, just like a low loft, just to give a little bit of a poof. And so this would be very easy. You'd lay out your back, your batting, and then your top, and then I would pin it all down, and then you would stitch your rows down and then around. What we have here too is we stitched all the way around at the end too, and then close to the edge, and then you can put like a little extra, what's it called? It's just like a little extra piece of fabric to add a little dimension on the binding. Okay. Okay, then next few projects that I brought, I did not make myself. I got this from my sister, but I thought I would share it because it's so beautiful, because she made it for me.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. High definition and caller ID is now free with all TV packages. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to find out more.
Okay, this quilt that I have laying on the table now, my sister made it for me. And these are made, this one here is made out of batik fabrics. And as you can see, it's very vibrant. The colors are bright. And it's made with blocks with a 9 patch, because it's 3 across and 3 down. So this is considered a 9 patch. And then she did the 9 patch, and then she did the white fabric. And then when you look at it, it's called, the way the blocks are laid out, every other, it's an Irish chain because it goes down, the Irish chain. You can kind of see a pattern when you lay it out. And these are kind of like scraps, you know, I mean, you cut them out, but there's a lot of fabrics that are the same, but they're not together. So it just looks like a nice scrappy quilt. Then there's sashing on the ends. And this is a batik fabric. And then we chose a different batik fabric for the backing. And then she used this border for the binding so that it doesn't take away from the border. And on this quilt too, she put a signature block on it. So it says that she made it for me, what date. So it's kind of documenting the quilts, because that's real important nowadays too, to document your quilts, because 70 years from now, who made it, you know, what's it called, who owned it, and so it's nice, and what year was it made. So those are kind of things that the Historical Society wants people to document their quilts. And this one here, she machine quilted, and she just did a basic stitch in the ditch. And so she went around every block, or like every row, and then every row. So the blocks itself doesn't have any stitching in it, but just enough to kind of hold the quilt down. And so then this one, and then, so it doesn't have a lot of fancy machine quilting. You can take it to a machine quilter to do this also, but we chose just to do the stitch in the ditch to not take away from the batik fabrics. And then on the border, what she did for the machine quilting is called a piano keys. So then like every 2 inches, she stitched. And so then it just kind of made a nice design going down out to the border. And then she just bound it with the same fabric as the sashing, or border sashing. So, and then of course, there were some fabrics left over. So what do you do with that? Okay. So what she did with that is she made me a table runner. So you can do the leftover blocks, and she used the same sashing. On the back, she just used plain fabric. And then here's what I mean about like the little signature block. It shows quilted by and her name, for me, and then what year. And then on these little blocks, she just put a little design on it. Okay. Well, there was still a little bit more fabric left over. So she also made me some little baskets, some fabric baskets. Aren't they cute? So you can just kind of keep making smaller projects to get rid of your fabric. And at the end, you can also make the doll clothes if you have still more fabric left over. So just a few things. So I hope you've enjoyed my program today. If you have any ideas or like to be a guest on the show or host one, give me a call at 437-2615. Thank you.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Sometimes when I'm doing a block, you can use graph paper where they have the blocks already on here, and then you can use these blocks to help make your design here. And then you can use colored pencils to make, like if you want a certain color in there, you can shade it in wherever you want. So you can use this graph paper, and you can buy this at the fabric store too. I just thought I would show you that. Another thing I found at the store that was kind of cute, and sometime I'll probably have a program on that too, is there's fabric sheets that you can put through your inkjet printer. So if you want to print a picture, maybe put it in the middle of your quilt, then you can have that and build a quilt block out from that. So I haven't tried this yet. Other people have. It's wonderful. And I did find a couple other tools too. When I did a program before, I showed you like the different types of fabrics, how you can buy them in the 5-inch pre-cuts, the 10-inch, and jelly roll. They're the 2.5-inch. Well, I found these really neat rulers that you can use like for your 2.5-inch jelly rolls. You can just lay this on there and cut your pattern. This one is a mini Dresden plate. This one is like a mini hex. This is for the 2.5-inch strips that are already cut. And then this is a diamond. So these are some new tools that I found. I thought that'd be kind of fun to do. It will make cutting the 2.5-inch strips quicker when you're doing a pattern. So I hope you have enjoyed my show today. If you have any questions, or if you want to be a host, or if you have any ideas for a show, please call me at 437-2615. Thank you.